have the OG here, right? Probably some of you guys don't know what this thing is, but this little ancient thing is a Para Ordnance 1445 chambered in 45 ACP. And why I wanted to make this video was because I have a lot of friends who have recently purchased the staccatos, and they're like, oh wow, it's a double stack 1911, blah, 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 this and that. And I was like, well, it's been around for a while, so it's nothing really super new, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, you know, I have these old Para Ordnance guns, and they're double stack 1911s from 10, 15 plus years ago. So here's the OG. Right, so in the late 80s, one of the big things about the 45 ACP was magazine count or capacity. And Para Ordnance, their solution was to come out with a double stack 1911 45 ACP magazine, and they built the gun around it. And it was pretty cool. I mean, for the time, who would have thought, right? But they really helped bridge the gap between 9mm and 45 because they were able to increase the round count on a 45 1911. This is how old or how long I've had this gun, because these are 10-round magazines. I purchased this before I went into law enforcement, so I couldn't get the high-capacity magazines. But normally this would be a 15-round magazine, right? So if you guys haven't ever heard of Para Ordnance or Para USA, it's because they're gone, right? And this video, when I was shooting this thing again, took it out of the safe and started shooting, I was like, you can kind of see why they kind of disappeared, right? I just had nothing but issues with this gun. I wanted to love it. But I mean, compared to like my Wilson Combat, Nighthawk Customs and stuff like that, even staccatos, the fit and finish is just not that great. And I bought this gun a long time ago, and even this gun here was about $1,300, so it wasn't cheap. That's going to probably be equivalent to like $3,000+ in today's money. But you got basic controls for 1911. Again, fit and finish is kind of the trigger's all wobbly and stuff like that. And when I look really closely at just the metal work and all that stuff, the machining, there's a lot of pits in the steel. So when you look at it, it doesn't scream quality, right? And then there's a lot of sharp edges and stuff like that. So this is totally a gun that if it was reliable and I was gonna, use it for self-defense or concealed carry, I'd send this out to get all these sharp edges dehoned and stuff like that. But when I went to the range, the shocking thing is I could not get this thing to shoot one single magazine without any malfunctions until I started shooting duty ammo. And I took this thing out to test and shoot along with my Nighthawk T3, and it was the same thing. We were shooting this thing with Winchester white box, Blazer brass, ball ammo, and it just did not want to feed. I had nothing but issues, to the point where we're like, what's the point of this thing? Like, how could you possibly use this for like self-defense? Then I started shooting it with Winchester Rangers, and it shot fine, shockingly, right? Even just how the gun would chamber around, the slide went through a lot smoother. The slide went forward when I stuck the magazine in, whereas with the ball ammo, the rounds would get stuck on the feed ramp. So that was a little bit surprising, but rest in peace, guys. This is the OG. I'm kind of sad to see them go. And at first, I haven't shot this thing in so many years. I was like, I'm gonna sell this thing because I don't use it anyways. But I think it's kind of nice to have a piece of history. RIP Para Ordnance, but they definitely paved the way to all the modern double stack 1911s. So that's something good, and that's why I'm deciding to keep this gun. But if you guys have a Para Ordnance, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see if you had the same issues with it, or if they've been reliable for you. This is the second Para Ordnance that I purchased at that time, and I had issues with both of them. The other one I really wanted to like because it was cool, and there's nothing that I know of that's like it out on the market today. And it was one of their limited edition LDAs, which was the light double action. And that was a 1911 that was double action only, but it had a pretty light trigger pull, which is kind of cool, right? But anyways, take care, guys. See you in the next one.